just comes from golf and coaching golf and looking at things, is my right eye, let's just say measuring my neck to using that as an indicator, sits lower like this. I'll be like this a lot of the
Yeah.
time. And even to the point where I went and got my passport photos done a few years ago, and the guy at the passport office was like, can you have your neck straight? I'm like, shit, I'm trying. But for me, right, and I use Nelly Corder as a reference a bit with some students who just want to move the ball a bit, is that if you've got your cap, Mr. Mac O'Grady was very big on well, still is obviously, but he's not gone. But the tape down the center of the cap line, right? So if you're looking at top of the cap, that tape there.
Yeah.
So say that your cap is looking directly down, directly down at the ball. I would have my right eye lower to the ground as a negative for me. And incidentally, you would already know that, is like I'm inside and shut a little bit, right? As soon as I lower my left eye, so I feel like my left eye is lower, but it's generally squarer, I can then fade the golf ball.
Yep.
Easy. I know that seems crazy to people, but the influence that has on me is big time. And I think a lot of it comes from the fact that I struggled with a fade a lot through my amateur career, and I was always trying to draw the golf ball. And now I'm too much that way now. But yeah, that's how I even influence a little bit that way there. Do you think so too? Like that way?
Sure. Yeah. Like if I'm trying to fade it, I'm doing a lot of that kind of presetting my path at P1. I think that part of it, I kind of subscribe to the idea that you want to develop kind of one basic swing, and then kind of get used to many different setups.
Interesting.
So the swing to me, because I don't want to put a lot of mental activity into the actual motion of the swing. So that's one of the challenges as a golf coach is there's a time to learn, and we got to conceptualize these things. And there's a lot of other people competing for that job, of being the golf coach for that player. So, I'm trying not to put too much mental activity into the actual motion of the swing. All of the thinking, and it's not that thinking is bad, it's just that there's a time and a place for it. So I don't necessarily want guys thinking a lot when they're swinging the golf club. I want them to know what they're doing from a visualization and from a setting up perspective, though. So that's where I feel like the mental activity more so is. And then I really encourage them that once they move the golf club, there's not a lot of mental activity going on. I mean,